Misery.
Welcome. My daughter told me to say welcome back instead of hello. So on this video, I want to give my opinion or my reaction about a documentary that I just watched recently. And the title of the documentary is The Keepers. And it is really, really interesting. I love that genre, like true crime documentaries, and I just love documentaries in general just because they are usually really informative. So I really love to watch documentaries even when I was younger, whatever. But thanks to Selena for giving me an idea and suggesting that I should give my opinion about that documentary that I just recently finished. And that's the title of the documentary is The Keepers. So basically, there was a nun that was murdered, and she was found, I don't know, is it a few days after? But yeah, she was teaching in a Catholic school, and that Catholic school was run by nuns and two priests. And unfortunately, one of the priests there, I think he's kind of one of the higher ups, he has been molesting kids in his office, girls, and it's an all-girl Catholic school, so it's super bad. So in that documentary, they say that there's like more than 50 girls that actually opened up about the molestation, the sexual abuse that happened to them, and it's so sick and sad and disgusting. And the thing is, what makes it more sad is the thought that, it does happen everywhere, not just in church. I'm also a Catholic, so, that makes me really sad. But the good thing is the setting of that documentary is is it 70s or 60s? Because it's like 45 years ago, and the documentary was made 2017. But you know what? The bad thing is, we know for sure that it's still happening right now, not just in churches. I'm sure it's happening in Hollywood. It's happening in politics. It's happening in a lot of places. Like, most especially now, we're in the information technology age where, there's like online platforms, and there's a lot of issues where, some stories where, I don't know, but I hear this a lot in the Philippines, where the parents would even sell their kids online, to the pedophiles and stuff like that. And it's super sad because it is happening. And so basically, in that documentary, Sister Kathy died, but she was murdered. And apparently, I don't know, I don't want to tell all the details because what if you want to watch it? But like, her story is so sad because for me, she's the real good example of a real Christian in that story. And she was silenced. And I think until now it's still happening, when you're fighting for the right, some people who are in power will silence you, or will just, like what happened to Sister Kathy, because she was gonna go to someone, I don't know, police or whatever, and she was gonna report all the molestation. But I guess, yeah, she died. She was murdered. And the molester has been, the bad thing with that is the church literally covered up the molester instead of being accountable and letting them pay for everything that that priest did wrong. They tried to cover it up. They tried to protect him, and I think that's the worst part of it. And the reason why actually I love our Pope right now, the Catholic Church's Pope right now, I think he's someone who actually walks the talk. He has said good things about gay people. He he removed that secrecy for like priests who molested kids or whatever. He that like because the reason why priests get protected is because there's a secrecy, and yeah, again, the church covers it up. But with our pope right now, he removed that secrecy, so all this accusations from the priests or all the molestations will be pushed through, and that, you know, the victims will actually get the justice that they're looking for. Honestly, it's a very painful show for me to watch as a Catholic myself, because it's just so sick. And again, the fact that the church covered up for the priest instead of holding him accountable really makes me sick. And honestly, because I am also a Christian myself, I always think and tell myself that I need to be a better person, and you know, I need to do the right things because it is the right thing to do, even if it's not always the easiest. And actually, I myself studied in a Catholic school in the Philippines too, and I didn't really have a lot of good experiences when I studied in a Catholic school too. But the Catholic school that I studied at isn't run by nuns. Maybe the head was a priest, but I had bad experiences with like this other students too, and I don't know, other teachers. But honestly, I just think that it's everywhere, and when that happens, I think that, you know, it's not really God, it is the people who actually make mistakes. And unfortunately, if you're a priest and you're doing that, you're a pedophile, you kind of represent the church. And I think that's why there's a lot of people who doesn't want to go to church anymore or doesn't want to believe anymore, just because, you know, these people that are supposed to be our good role models behind the scenes, they are doing this. But honestly, I really think that it's not God and it's not God's teaching, and there are people out there who have real mental illness, like pedophile priests. But honestly, they are everywhere. In my own life, I have a relative that was sexually abused by her uncle. I have a best friend who was sexually abused by her family member too. And again, it's super sad that it's happening everywhere, not just in the church. It happens everywhere. It happens within family. And so I think when we talk about topics like this, we're all doing our part to shed light or be an advocate, so that hopefully in the future, this world will be a better place for the future generations, for our kids, for, you know, for everyone. So I think it is better to talk about hard topics like this, or sensitive topics, because the more we shed light about relevant topics like this, like sexual abuse, the more people will be informed, and the more people will speak up for themselves as well if they are being abused. And I think us talking about this too, and fighting, the survivors fighting for it, is also a way to, you know, like change the system, even if I think we still have a long ways to go. I think we have gotten better through the years, like compared to the, like, I don't know, 70s, 60s, but I think we still have a long ways to go. So I think we should all do our part to actually be an advocate or shed some light to the relevant topic that will affect our future generations. So that's it. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope somehow you learned something, and I hope you guys have a great week ahead. And it's actually Thanksgiving here in Canada right now, so happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for watching, and see you on my next video.